Every single year, my family somehow forgot to invite me to Christmas. This year, I bought a mountain house. My name is Sarah Mitchell. I'm 34 years old. I work as a financial advisor in Denver, Colorado. And for the past 12 years, I've been the invisible daughter in my own family. This is the story of how I took that invisibility and turned it into the quietest, sweetest revenge of my life. My phone sat perfectly still on Christmas Eve, just like it always did. I was curled up on my couch in my small apartment, watching snow drift past the window, my coffee cooling untouched in my hands. Outside, the city glowed softly. Inside, everything felt hollow. My younger sister Emma had 3 kids. Because of that, Christmas always happened at her place, a massive house in the suburbs, packed with noise and chaos and warmth. My parents stayed there every year. They had group chats I was never added to, planning calls I never received, conversations that somehow never included me. Every November, I would gently hint about the holidays. Every year, I got vague answers that led nowhere. The first time it happened, I thought it was an honest mistake. 12 years ago, I showed up at my parents' house on Christmas morning with wrapped gifts and a hopeful smile. My mother answered the door in her bathrobe, confusion flickering across her face. "Oh, Sarah," she said, blinking. "We're heading to your aunt's house this year." No one had told me. The second year, I called ahead. My father said they were keeping things small, quiet, low-key. That evening, I drove past their house anyway. Every car in the family was parked outside. Lights blazed through the windows. Laughter spilled into the street. I sat in my car for 20 minutes crying, before driving home alone. After that, it became routine. They posted photos online. Emma and her perfect children buried under gifts. My parents smiling in matching sweaters. My brother Josh holding his newborn. Everyone together. Everyone included, except me. People flooded the comments, praising what a beautiful family they were. Neighbors asked how my Christmas went. I learned to lie without hesitation. It was great, I'd say. Really special. This year, though, something shifted. I had just closed the biggest deal of my career, a $2 million inheritance portfolio for a client who trusted me completely. I was respected at work, valued, successful. I had built a life that mattered, and yet every December I became that forgotten daughter again. Sitting alone with takeout while my family celebrated without me, I decided. I was done waiting for an invitation that would never come. 3 months earlier, in September, Mrs. Zelina Whitmore walked into my office. She was 82, sharp-eyed, and blunt in a way that made people straighten their backs. Her husband had passed away, and she needed help managing the estate he left behind. $2 million in property, investments, and cash. She interviewed 4 advisors. She chose me. "You were the only one who told me the truth," she said during our second meeting. The others tried to impress me. "You told me what I needed to hear." I liked her immediately. She reminded me of the kind of person I wished existed in my family, someone who valued honesty, someone who actually saw me. Over the following months, we worked closely. She told me stories about her marriage, about the business she and her husband built from nothing. She had no children. Her extended family barely spoke to her. "They'll show up now," she said one afternoon, "now that there's money." I understood that feeling more deeply than she knew. In early November, she asked me a simple question. "Do you have plans for Thanksgiving, Sarah?" I hesitated. Then I told her everything. The forgotten invitations. The years of being left out. The group chats I never saw. The photos I was never in. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she nodded slowly. "You know what I did when my family stopped seeing me?" she asked. I shook my head. I stopped trying to be seen. I built a life they couldn't ignore. That sentence stayed with me. Thanksgiving came and went exactly as expected. No call, no invitation. I spent the day working, then treated myself to dinner downtown. I posted a photo of my plate online just to see that my mother liked it. That was it. That night I made a decision. I opened my laptop and searched for mountain properties in Colorado. I'd been saving for years. I lived modestly. I had nearly $300,000 saved, excellent credit, no debt. I could afford something bold. I found it on the second day. A mountain house 2 hours outside Denver, tucked into the Rockies. 4 bedrooms. Floor-to-ceiling windows. A stone fireplace. Land that made you feel like the world was yours. The price was $275,000. It needed work. But the bones were solid. I called the realtor that afternoon. Her name was Monica. She was surprised by how quickly I moved. Most people take months. She said, "I'm not most people." I replied. When I pulled up to the house the following weekend, snow dusting the trees, I knew. Inside, it smelled like pine and thyme. The mountains framed every window like a painting. I imagined Christmas. Here, a fire crackling, lights glowing. A table set for one by choice. I made a full-price offer that day. It was accepted 2 days later. By mid-December, the house was mine. But owning it wasn't enough. I wanted it undeniable. I hired a contractor. Named Tom, straightforward, no nonsense. "We're going to make this place unforgettable," he said. For 2 weeks, we planned renovations. New floors, a modern kitchen, a stone pathway. Smart home tech, rustic luxury. The costs climbed. I didn't flinch. This was an investment in myself. I visited every weekend, watching the transformation happen. And with every change, something inside me healed. I planned Christmas for myself. Decorations, a 7-foot tree, lights, stockings, wine, prime rib. My favorite cake. My coworkers asked about my plans. "I'm hosting," I said. Their eyes widened. I kept details vague. I wanted the reveal perfect. So I documented everything. Before and after photos, fireplace restorations, sunrise views over the mountains. I wasn't waiting to be remembered anymore. This time, they were going to see me. I did not tag anyone. I did not write long captions. I just posted and let the images speak for themselves. Within days, people started commenting. Friends from college, old coworkers, even distant cousins I had not spoken to in years. "This is incredible. Sarah, when can we visit?" "You are living the dream." I replied to every comment with gratitude, but I kept my real feelings to myself. My sister Emma liked one-off posts. Then my brother Josh commented, "Wow, nice place." My mother sent me a private message. "Is this your new house?" "It looks lovely." I replied simply, "Thank you." No explanation, no invitation. I wanted them to wonder. I wanted them to realize that I had done something significant without them. Feweek. Before Christmas, I posted a two-foot tree I had set up in the main room. It was decorated with white lights and gold ornaments. The fireplace glowed in the background and snow was falling outside the windows. The caption read, "Looking forward to a peaceful Christmas in my new home." Within an hour, my phone started buzzing. Emma called first. I let it go to voicemail. Then Josh, then my mother. I did not answer any of them. I was not ready to talk. I was not ready to explain. I wanted them to sit with the discomfort of realizing I had moved on without them. That night, I poured myself a glass of wine and sat by the fire in my mountain house. For the first time in 12 years, I felt like I was exactly where I was supposed to be. My mother called again the next morning. This time I answered. I was sitting on the back deck of the house wrapped in a blanket, watching the sunrise over the mountains. Her voice was bright, but I could hear the confusion underneath. Sarah, honey, I saw your posts. You bought a house? Why did you not tell us? I took a sip of my coffee bear, I answered. It happened pretty quickly, I said. I found the place and made an offer, and it just worked out. There was a pause. Well, it looks beautiful, she said. Are you spending Christmas there? Yes, I said simply. Another. Pause longer this time. Oh, she said. Well, we are all getting together at Emma's like usual. You should come, Dad. It would be nice to see you. I let Theselant stretch. I thought about all the years I had waited for this exact invitation. All the Christmases I spent alone hoping someone would remember me. Now here it was offered casually like it was no big deal. Actually, I have plans, I said. I'm staying at the house. I have everything set up here. My mother lied a little awkwardly. You're spending Christmas alone, Sarah. That is silly. Come to Emma's. The kids would love to see you. The kids barely know him, I said quietly. And I am not spending Christmas alone. I am spending it how I want to spend it. There was a sharpness in my voice I had not intended, but I did not take it back. Mother was quiet for a moment. Well, if you change your mind, she said, finality door is always open. I thanked her and ended the call. My hands were shaking. I had never said no to my family before. I had never pushed back. It felt terrifying and exhilarating at the same time. An hour later, my phone buzzed with a text from Emma. It was long and full of emojis. Hey sis, saw your mountain house. It looks amazing. Why did you not tell us you were buying a place? We could have helped. Anyway, Mom said you are not coming to Christmas. That is crazy. You have to come. The kids are asking about you. I stared at the message. The kids are asking about you. My nieces and nephews were 9, 7, and 4. They had spent every Christmas of their lives surrounded by family, and I had been absent from most of their memories. Not by choice, but because I was never invited. Now suddenly, they were asking about me. I typed a response. Thanks, Emma. I appreciate the invite, but I am really looking forward to spending Christmas at my place. It has been a big year, and I want to enjoy the house. Maybe we can get together in the new year. I hit send before I could second-guess myself. Her response came fast. That is so weird, Sarah. Why would you want to spend Christmas alone? You are being antisocial. Just come to my place, Dad. It will be fun. I felt the familiar tug of guilt. The part of me that wanted to make everyone happy. The part of me that had spent years swallowing my hurt so I would not make waves, but I pushed it down. I am not being antisocial, I wrote back. I am choosing how I want to spend my holiday. There is a difference. This time she did not respond right. Away. When she finally did, it was just one sentence. Fine, do what you want. I could feel the irritation through the screen. Emma was used to getting her way. She was used to being the center of attention. My absence would leave a gaping. For the first time I was okay with that. My brother Josh called fate vening. He was the middle child and usually stayed out of family drama. We had always gone along even if we were not particularly close. His voice was calm when I answered. Hey Sarah, I heard you bought a house. That is awesome. I wanted to hear about it. I relaxed a little. Josh was easier to talk to than Emma or my parents. I told him about the property, the renovation, the plan to spend Christmas there. He listened without interrupting. That sounds real ignorant, he said when I finished. I am happy for you. Then he paused. Can I ask you something? Sure, I said. Why did you not tell us? I mean about the house. Where your family? I took a breath. Honestly, Josh, I did not think you would care. There was silence on the other end. That is not fair, he said finally. Is it not? I asked. When was the last time any of you asked about my life? When was the last time I was invited to a family event without having to ask if I could come? Josh, you are a good guy, but you have been part of this too. You have spent every Christmas with everyone else and never thought to check if I was okay. I did not realize, he said quietly. I thought you were just busy with work. Elod, but there was no humor in it. I was not busy, Josh. I was forgotten. He did not argue. Look, he said after I am sorry. I should have done better. You are right. His apology caught me off guard. I had not expected him to admit it. Thank you, I said. That means a lot. Are you really not coming to Christmas? He asked. I am really not. I said I need this. I need to do something for myself, he sighed. I get it, but just so you know, we are going to miss you. I doubted that, but I did not say it. Thanks, Josh, I said. We hung up in his ad in the quiet of the house, feeling something close to peace. Christmas arrived cold and clear. I woke up in my mountain house to sunlight streaming through the windows, and the kind of silence that only exists in the mountains. I made coffee and stood on the deck, watching the world wake up around me. The air smelled like pine and snow and possibility. I spent the morning finishing up decorations. I strung lights along the porch railing. Is it the table with dishes I had bought specifically for this occasion? I prepped food humming along to Christmas music playing from my speaker. It felt surreal to be this content, to be this okay with being alone. Around noon, my phone started buzzing with messages. My family group chat, which I had been added to for the first time in years, was blowing up. Photos of Emma's house decorated to the nines. Pictures of my prince arriving with armfuls of gifts. Videos of the kids running around in matching pajamas. Merry Christmas Eve from all of us. One message read. Wish you were here, Sarah. I stared at that message. Wish you were here. They had 12 years to wish I was there. 12 years to make me feel included. Now that I had chosen not to come, suddenly I was missed. I put my phone on silent and went back to cooking. I was making prime rib with garlic, mashed potatoes, and roasted Brussels sprouts. I opened a bottle of red wine and poured myself a glass. As the sun started to set, I lit the fireplace and turned on the Christmas tree lights. The house glowed warm and beautiful. I put on a movie and curled up on the couch with my wine and a blanket. Outside, snow started to fall softly, dusting the trees and the deck. It was the most peaceful Christmas Eve I had ever had. Around 8, my phone rang. It was my mother. I hesitated and then answered. Merry Christmas Eve, sweetheart, she said. Her voice was cheerful, but I could hear something underneath. Are you sure you do not want to come over? We saved you a plate. I smiled to myself. I am sure, Mom. I am having a really nice night. She sighed. I just hate thinking of you alone. I am not alone, I said. I am with myself, and I am really good company. Christmas morning, I woke to the smell of coffee and the sound of birds outside. I made myself a huge breakfast. Pancakes, bacon, fresh fruit. I ate slowly, savoring every bite. There was no rush, no schedule, no one to perform for, just men the day stretching out ahead. I opened the gifts I had bought for myself, a new set of hiking boots, a journal with a leather cover, a cashmere blanket that felt like a cloud. I poured another cup of coffee and sat by the fire reading a book I had been meaning to start for months. My phone was still in silent. I knew the messages were piling up, but I did not care. Around noon, I decided to check. There were over 50 messages. In the family group chat, more photos, more videos. My mother had posted a picture of the whole family gathered around the tree with the caption, Our beautiful family. I noticed the absence in the photo. Fag up where I would have been if I had been there, but instead of feeling sad, I felt relieved. There were also several private messages. Emma had written, He do not understand why you are doing this. You are hurting Mom and Dad. Josh, and you okay? And my mother wrote, I hope you are having a nice day, honey. We miss you. I did not respond to any of them. I was not ready. I was not sure I would ever be ready. Instead, I bundled up and went for a walk on the property. The snow crunched under my boots and my breath came out in white clouds. I followed a trail that led up to a ridge overlooking the valley. From up there, I could see for miles mountains rolling Ginto Mountains, sky so blue it hurt. I stood there for a long time, feeling small and infinite at the same time. When I got back to the house, I matted in her. I set the table for one. I lit candles. I played music. I ate slowly, tasting everything. The prime rib was perfect. The potatoes were creamy. Thuine was rich. After dinner, I sat by fire with my dessert and felt something I had not felt in years: wholeness. The day after Christmas, my phone would not stop ringing. Immaculate 4 times. My mother killed advice. Even my father, who never called, left a voicemail. Sarah, we need Todok. This has gone too far. I listened to the voicemail and laughed. This has gone too far. 12 years of being excluded was fine, but 1 year of me choosing not to show up was too far. I finally answered when Emma called for the 5th time. What, Sarah? She snapped. Why are you ignoring us? I was not ignoring you, I said calmly. I was enjoying my holiday. Well, we need to talk about this, she said. You really hurt Mom and Dad. They were upset all day. You made Christmas awkward. I made Christmas awkward, I asked. Emma, I have spent 12 Christmases alone because no one bothered to invite me. I have watched you all post photos and celebrate with me. I have cried myself to sleep more times than I can count. And now that I chose to do something for myself, I am the one making things awkward. She was quiet. That is not fair, she said finally. We did not mean to exclude you. You were always welcome. Then why was I never invited? I asked. Why was I never added to the group chat? Why did no one echo me? Emma did not have an answer. Look, she said, I am sorry if you felt left out, but you are overreacting. You could have said something. I did say something. I replied every year, and every year I was dismissed or ignored. So I stopped saying something. I stopped waiting for you all to see me. And now I have built a life that does not revolve around waiting for scraps of attention from my family. Emma was silent. If that makes me the bad guy, I said, then so be it. I hung up before she could respond. 2 days after Christmas, my parent showed up at my apartment in Denver, Nanitz. I was home working on clean files when the doorbell rang. I opened the door to find them standing there looking tired and worried. We need to talk, my father said. I let them in. They sat on my couch and I made tea even though I did not want to. My mother spoke first. Sarah, we are concerned about you. This whole mountain house thing, spending Christmas alone, it isn't like you. I set the tea down on the table. What is it like me? I asked to wait around hoping you will remember exist. My father frowned. That is not fair, Sarah. We have always loved you. You are part of this family. Then why have I spent 12 years being excluded? I asked. Why was I never invited to Christmas? Why did no one call to check on me? My parents looked at each other. We thought you were busy, my mother said. You have your career, your life in city. We did not want to bother you. I laughed. You did not want to bother me, or you did not think about me at all. My father stood up. That is enough, Sarah. We came here to reconcile, and you are being disrespectful. Disrespectful? I said standing too. I have been anything but respectful for 12 years. I have swallowed every hurt, every disappointment, every lonely holiday. I have shown up when I was not wanted and smiled when I was ignored. And now that I have finally done something for myself, You come here and accuse me of being disrespectful." My mother started crying. "We did not know you felt this way," she said. "Why did you not tell us?" I did. I said quietly over and over. "You just did not listen." They left shortly after that. My father was angry. My mother was hurt. But I felt lighter than he had in years. I had finally said what I needed to say. The next week was skeet. No calls, no texts. My family was giving me space, or maybe they were done with me altogether. I was not sure which, and I was surprised to find I didn't care. I spent New Year's Eve at the mountain house alone. I made a fire. I drank champagne. I watched the clock turn to midnight from my deck under a sky full of stars. In January, Mrs. Whitmore came into my office for a regular meeting. She asked how my Christmas was, and I told her everything. She listened with that sharp gaze of hers, and when I finished, she nodded. "Good for you," she said. "You did what I should have done years ago." "What is that?" I asked. "Stop waiting for people to see your value," she said, "and start living like you already know it." Her words stayed with me. I realized that buying the house was not just about revenge or proving a point. It was about reclaiming my life. It was about building something that was mine, something that no one could take away or diminish. I started spending more weekends at the house. I invited friends from work. I hosted dinners. I hiked the trails and learned the names of seabirds that lived in the trees. One afternoon in late January, Josh called. He asked if he could come visit the house. I was surprised, but I said yes. He drove up the following weekend and we spent the day talking. He apologized. He said he had been thinking a lot about our family and the patterns we had all fallen into. "I do not have an excuse," he said, "but I wanted to better." I appreciated his honesty. We cooked dinner together and sat by the fire. He told me about his life, his struggles with his marriage, his fears about being a good father. I realized we had both been invisible in different ways. Him overshadowed by Emma's chaos, me forgotten entirely. It did not fix everything, but it was a start. In February, my mother called and asked if we could meet for lunch. I agreed. We met at a cafe in Denver, and she looked older than I remembered. "Sarah, I have been doing a lot of thinking," she said, "about you, about our family. I owe you an apology." I listened as she explained. She said she had gotten so caught up in Emma's life and her grandchildren that she stopped seeing me as someone one needed. She said my independence had made her assume I did not want to be included. She cried and said she was sorry. "I am so proud of you," she said, "of what you have built. I just wish I had told you sooner." It was not a perfect apology. It did not erase 12 years of hurt, but it was real. I told her I appreciated it. I also told her I wasn't ready to go back to how things were. "I need boundaries," I said. "I need to know that I matter not just when I am absent, but when I am present." "Too," she nodded. "I understand." We finished lunch and parted ways. It was not a grand reconciliation, but it was a step. Over the next few months, my relationship with my family started to shift. Josh visited the mountain house a few more times. My mother called more often just to talk. My father sent me an email apologizing in his own stiff, formal way. Emma was the last holdout. She didn't call. She did not text. I knew she was angry. She did not like being claimed, but I was okay with that. I did not need her approval anymore. I had built a life that was full without her. By the time next Christmas rolled around, everything had changed. I spent Thanksgiving at the mountain house with Josh and his family. It was small and easy. No pressure, no performance, justice. My mother visited in early December and we decorated the tree together. Shared old stories about my childhood that I had forgotten. We laughed. When Christmas came, I had a choice. Emma sent an invitation this time, a real one. Not a vague mention, but an actual text asking if I would come. My parents called and said they would love to see him. I thought about it for a long time. I could go. I could show up and pretend everything was fine, or I could continue building the life I had started. I decided to host Christmas at the mountain house. I invited my parents, Josh and his family, a few close friends. I even invited Emma, though I was not sure she would come. To my surprise, she did. She showed up with her kids and her husband and an aunt. Awkward apology. I am sorry, she said quietly. I should have done better. We spent Christmas Day together. It was not perfect. There were awkward moments, old ones that surfaced in small ways, but it was also real. My nieces and nephews played in the snow. My parents sat by the fire. Josh helped me cook dinner. Emma and I talked for the first time in months, really talked. As the sun sets, I stood on the deck looking out at the mountains. My mother came and stood beside me. You did something amazing here, Sarah, she said. Not just the house, but the life you built. I am proud of you. I smiled. I am proud of him too, I said. That night, after everyone had gone to bed, I sat by the fire alone. I thought about the past year, about the decision to buy this house, about the pain and the anger and the eventual peace. I realized that revenge was not about making my family suffer. It was about refusing to suffer anymore. It was about choosing myself. I poured a glass of wine and raised it to the empty room. To me, I said, to the life I built, to the family I chose, to the mountains that held me when no one else would. The fire crackled. The stars shone through the windows. And I knew that no matter what happened next, I would be okay. Because I had finally learned the most important lesson. I didn't need anyone to remember me.